friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're doing well. Rasasi has put the world on notice because they're releasing a whole lot of Hawas fragrances. I guess that means putting the world, I don't know. But they are going ham at this point. They're releasing like a new Hawas fragrance every month or something. It's out of control. They have announced 4 new Hawas fragrances recently. I picked up 2 of them from the hellscape of TikTok. More specifically, TikTok Shop, which I don't suggest buying from there. TikTok is glorified QVC, okay? Let's call a spade a spade. It's QVC, it's HSN, that's what it is. But I tried to order this from their TikTok Shop, and the person I bought it from the store just didn't even ship it, like, at all. So that was cool. I had to wait like 2-3 weeks and finally got a refund, and then placed another order through a different shop, and they did ship it. And here it is, Hawas Malibu. Yeah, that's the first one that I got. I also got Hawas Cobra, spelled with a K, because that's cool, I guess. I don't know. There are 2 other ones, like I said, Atlantis and Viper, and I don't have those yet, don't have those on order. I don't even know if you can buy them yet. Cost on this one was 50 bucks, technically $99.99 for a combo of this fragrance and Hawas Cobra. But we'll just call it an even 50 for each one, I guess. So like I kind of alluded to, Rasasi going heavy, going hard in the paint with the Hawas. Essentially, I guess anyway, they've looked at all these other clone houses releasing stuff, you know, Armaf with the Club de Nuit with the Odyssey fragrances, Lattafa with the Kamras and whatnot, and they've gone like, hey, we need to be releasing more stuff. How about we release everything underneath our most popular line? Big brain. But you know, it doesn't matter if the name is popular, it matters if the fragrance is good. And that's what we're gonna be talking about here today. First off though, we have to do the usual and check out the presentation. First, the box. You have on the front there the name of the fragrance, also the flanker name, size and concentration, 100 ml eau de parfum. Has a little bit of like a brushed steel look to it. You have logo on top. On one side of the box, you have your sticker of authenticity, which actually says, scratch me. I don't think I will. I don't trust like that. Imagine somebody just comes up to you and they're like, hey, scratch me. On the back of the box, you have a little more information for external use only. Keep away from heat and flame. Also, don't allow children to have it, and don't spray it in your eyeballs. Good to know. On the bottom, you have the ingredients and also your batch code. Mine was manufactured August 2025. It's a baby. And here we have the bottle. Has a gradient with kind of a blue-green finish at the bottom, black up top. You have the name of the fragrance right there on the front of the bottle. It's your typical Hawas presentation. You have your little snake cap up top with Rasasi on top of that cap, sticker on the bottom of the bottle, and the cap does click into place. And I believe it is time that we share some sprays. So let's do that. Nice. Now, as of right this millisecond when I'm filming this video, this isn't available at any of your usual discounter stores, though it has been listed on JOMASHOP for a little while, but as out of stock. And I kept my eyes on it because I would have preferred to have purchased it there. It's possible they got in like a few bottles or something and sold out of them really quickly, and now there's just like a dead listing. Well, it started to pop up a couple spots. Yeah, it shows JOMASHOP out of stock, $54.99. When this video goes live, wherever it's available, I'll try to link that in the description below. What was I even talking about now? I got all sidetracked. Let me get myself back on track by really quickly showing you some codes. Avert your eyes. Yeah, that's fine. So we got codes for JOMASHOP, the Perfume Box, Frag Flex, many more, including Gift Express, even Fragrance Lord. And you can use these codes to save yourself some money when you're shopping for fragrances, whether it's a Hawas or anything else. So use those to save yourself some money. Now I gotta say, when I first got this fragrance in, busted it open, sprayed it on, I thought to myself, haven't they kind of already done that with the Hawas? Because my mind immediately thought of this, Hawas Tropical, which honestly, between these two, Tropical does look fresher, doesn't it? Malibu, a little dark, a little deep. Tropical, green, fresh. Hawas Tropical, of course, a clone of Le Beau Paradise Garden, hence the green coloration. But when I sprayed this one on, I was like, man, that's really similar to what they've done already. And that's because this one is a clone of this, Le Beau Le Parfum, which the gradient makes more sense when you put those side by side, doesn't it? Because you can do this also with Hawas Tropical, and yeah, you get the idea. Very popular to clone the Le Beau line and also some of the Le Male flankers as well here lately. Oh, also, I did place an order right before filming for another bottle of Malibu that I'm gonna give away to one of you guys, assuming that it gets here within the next 3 weeks. I'm finally getting caught up on my giveaways. I kind of fell very far behind between the whole new studio and all that stuff. But we're gonna do a giveaway for that a little bit later on in today's video, so stay tuned for that. It will be a still sealed bottle of Malibu purchased from the same store I got this one, because I know at least they'll actually ship it to me. Probably. So anyway, yeah, Hawas Malibu, a clone of Le Beau Le Parfum, but not the exact same, of course. It has to have a twist. There always is. And a big part of that twist is going to be right as soon as you spray the new Hawas on. So you can tell immediately that it is Le Beau Le Parfum. If you're familiar with this fragrance, if you're familiar with the Le Beau line of fragrances, when you spray this on, you're gonna know right away, yeah, I've smelled that before. One of the main differences though in the opening of the new Hawas is that it has more of an emphasis on fruits. It's fresher, zingier, livelier, especially when you spray it on side by side with the original. So Le Beau Le Parfum, this one right here, for me, middle of summer, probably not something I'd reach for. I would go for Paradise Garden, Flower Edition, or the original Le Beau over this one, because it's a little bit heavier, thicker, creamier, and if it's middle of summer, really hot outside, humid, you know, stuff like that, I'd just rather wear one of the other ones. Now, maybe if we're talking like early summer or late summer into the evening when it's not as hot, that's a different thing. Maybe then you do go for this one, but I'm talking just, you know, your middle of summer dog days when it's really hot. So Hawas Malibu, this one opens with citrus, with pineapple, like I said, fresher, zingier, livelier, not as creamy, not as heavy. It doesn't have as much of that like coconut vibe coming through when you first spray it on. And actually just in general, the coconut here in Hawas Malibu, way dialed down, not just in the opening, but all the way across the board. I don't even think it's an official note. So you're not gonna get as much of that creamy, you know, potentially sunscreen-esque kind of tropical vibe that note can impart on Le Beau Le Parfum in the Hawas. So for some people, that's gonna be an improvement. For some people, they're gonna be like, oh, good. Like that was just too much. A little bit too heavy, a little bit too thick, if you know what I mean. For other people, they're gonna be like, well, that was really the part that made Le Beau Le Parfum for me. Now it's gone. Pour one out. Or I guess spray one out, actually. And with that increase of fruit, of liveliness, of sparkle, of sweetness and freshness, I really dig the opening of Hawas Malibu. Smells fantastic. Now, I'm not saying it smells better than Le Beau Le Parfum, because this also smells fantastic, but it smells great when you first spray it on. And you can pick that up very easily off tester strips as well. Now, I'm always gonna say, if you're testing side by side, if you can, you know, spray each on skin, you know, on your hand, your crook of your elbow, whatever, and test it that way. But if you do only have tester strips for some reason, you can pick that difference out really easily off these as well. Because sometimes you can't, but with this one, you can, easy. Yeah, the Le Beau Le Parfum is just so much like denser, kind of, the way it comes across. This one is really like almost carbonated, you know, just sparkly, sweet, citrusy, fresh, nice pineapple in there. This one almost like a touch powdery, and you don't get that at all in the Hawas. As Hawas Malibu dries down, you get some lavender in there, which is gonna tie it in, of course, with the Le Beau line. A nice, fresh, clean lavender kind of mixes together really well with that fruit as it dries. You do get some iris in here as well, and the iris is going to give you a touch of creaminess. Not as much though as Le Beau Le Parfum, so definitely keeping it more in that like daytime kind of vibe over here with this one, at least in direct comparison to the Jean Paul Gaultier. And then as it dries down, clean, fresh, white musk and tonka. Good dose of tonka in here, which is gonna give it a little warmth as it dries down, some body, some depth. You know, it's gonna help with the staying power of the fragrance, and does also give more sweetness. So if you're looking for something that is not sweet, look somewhere else, because this is sweet from the opening through the mid into the dry down. Maybe the type of sweetness changes a little bit once you hit that dry down. Again, fruit changing into tonka, but it is sweet, open to dry down. Now there is also another alternative to Le Beau Le Parfum, which has been out for a little while, and that one is Codlage Island, which I should have grabbed before I started filming. Don't worry, I got it, it's right here. Nice. So So yeah, Cod Lodge Island, this one has been out for a minute. And it's also pretty well received. I will say that since the Hawas just came out, it's gonna be way pricier than Island. Island is probably gonna run you like half, maybe a little over half, but something like that compared to what this is going for right now. Also does have a nice pressurized atomizer. So there is that. And Island to me does not have quite as much of the like zingy fruitiness off the top. It does have that coconut in here as well. Not as creamy heavy as Le Beau Le Parfum, but you're gonna get a little more of that in Island. Gotta say, looking at the gradients, Malibu's probably a little bit closer. Yeah, gotta work on those gradients, Kalash. I do like the green though. Looks pretty good. I really just wanted to let you guys know there's also this one for a little bit less. Now performance, we gotta talk performance. You can't talk Hawas without talking about that. In terms of longevity, really solid. It sticks around for a long, long time off my skin. And there is of course always gonna be that specter of the M word. Whatever you would like to call it. He's called a lot of things. What I'm talking about, of course, is when you get in a new clone fragrance, this one, from August, and you first spray it on, sometimes it's not quite as developed as it will be a little bit down the road. So there is always that possibility that things change slightly with this one as it sits on my shelf and grows up. But yeah, back to the performance. It lasts a long time off my skin, but in terms of projection, it is not bad. It's solid, but it's not like a room filler. It's that type of fragrance that it sits there, it lingers, you'll pick it up a little bit through the day, but it's not exactly screaming off my skin. Not that I care for it to, but if you're the type of person who's like, yo, Hawas has to be apocalyptically strong. That's the only option. Like it has to make people cry, it has to make people beg for forgiveness. That's what Hawas has to be. If that's like your viewpoint, then you may be disappointed in this one. I think it's completely fine. Like I said, longevity is really solid, but the projection is not the strongest of the Hawas lineup for whatever that's worth. Now, in terms of when you would wear this, pretty much the same times you would wear this. That's typically how these things work, and once again, that's how it's working here. But as I mentioned when I was talking about this one, the fragrance, how it develops and everything, does have more of a lean towards spring and summer. It's fresher, zingier, livelier, not as dense, not as thick compared to Le Beau Le Parfum. Said that weird. Le Beau Le Parfum. Spring, summer, daytime. Could also wear it during the evening. I think early fall, you could pull this off as well. If we're talking dead of winter, I would lean more towards this than this because of the added density that this one packs. So if we're talking just like the best times, spring, summer, daytime, but of course, wear it whenever you want, especially if you're gonna be somewhere that's indoors and air conditioned all day long. Now the big question, is it worth the price? Well, right now at launch, it's hovering around 50 bucks, at least at the places that I can find it. At $50, that's kind of scratching like the upper end of what you'd wanna pay for this. It's not terrible. Like I've seen clone fragrances launch at much worse prices, like the new Club de Nuit Intense Man Extreme that I bought at full retail from Armaf, only to have it pop up at discounters for like a third of that price one day later. So stupid. I buy all of these stupid fragrances, man, and I'm just like, I could have patience, I could, but I don't. Anyway, like I was saying, 50 bucks, not awfully priced. That's kind of the upper end. If you can get it for like 40, you're golden, golden. Under that, what's better than platinum? You're platinum. 60, 70, 80, you see those prices, you run away. Don't pay that. Do not pay that price, okay? If you wanna buy it early, like if you're somebody who's a big fan of Hawas, of Rasasi, of Le Beau Le Parfum, whatever, 50's fine. At 50, you're not gonna really regret it. That's not a terrible price. Like I said, under that, you're golden, you're platinum, you're gravy. Above that, no sir. And between Cod Lodge Island and this one, I do think that the Hawas is better, just to my own taste. I like the smell of this one more. I like that additional fruity sweetness off the top. I like that additional zest, that zing that it has. I like that it doesn't go as heavy as this one, because then it gives me like a little different vibe, right? So I can get something that's very similar, but it's approaching things in a slightly different way, you know, walking a slightly different path in the same forest. And I dig that, I dig that. Island though, for the price point, is a better buy. So yeah. So for me, if I'm factoring in bang for buck, this one is better. If I'm just going solely on the fragrance and how I like it, this one is better. Giveaway time. Again, I ordered one of these from the exact same person I bought this one from, so we should be good there. It'll come still sealed and everything, and I'll just take it from their box and put it into your box. Well, that sounds potentially a little weird. Shipping boxes. All you have to do to be entered into the giveaway is the following. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to. To be entered, just let me know in the comment, because you have to leave the comments or else you're not entered, which Hawas is your favorite. That's all you gotta do. If you have no favorite, just say, I don't have a favorite Hawas. That's an entry as well. I'll pick a winner the following month via random comment picker posted up on the post tab of the YouTube channel. If you are the winner, hit me up and I will ship it out to you. Not this one, but the one that's coming. $59.90. Marked down from $79.90 it says, but then I somehow got a $10 discount and it came out to $53.52, so. Okay. I want to thank you guys for hanging with me here until the end. I also got in the new Hawas Cobra, so I'll review that soon as well. Stay safe out there, guys. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.